Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We're in Amrutanubhava, chapter 6, words devalued, and OV number 92. And we looked at here, the thought was, the tongue is wise and smart enough to taste all the objects, however, it cannot taste itself. And then we looked at 90, we're looking at 92. Tari jibhe kai apule, chakhane hanathele, taise nave sanchale, te chiki. Because the tongue cannot taste herself, one cannot say that the essential nature of the tongue to taste is not existing. It does. Because you cannot see your own eyes, because you cannot hear your own ears, because you cannot see your own mind. Try to think about your mind. You will vanish. You can't think your mind also. Does not mean that this is only at relative level. So, does not mean that they do not exist. However, just because the tongue cannot taste itself, can we say that the tasting ability of the tongue is dead? No, it is still very much there. In the same way, when the knowingness aspect is withdrawn from functioning in the world, it does not mean that one has entered deep sleep. This is very important. Because our experience of withdrawing the knowingness aspect is equal to deep sleep, even on the seat of meditation. Yesterday I was talking to someone, and very busy person, multitasker, always wants the TV on, or wants the music on, or something has to be always going on. So when I ask them, why you don't get tired of this noise pollution throughout the day? They said, no, it doesn't affect me. But I said, whenever I have seen you without the TV on or any music on or WhatsApp on, there and then that person goes to sleep. Because nothing to interact with, nothing to distract, immediately go to sleep, straight snoring. So they have not learned how to remain alert, awake, vigilant when there is no stimuli. And that is the practice that you and me as a seeker have to do. So we are knowing the world when there is no world in the mind. Don't say that there is no mind. No, you are there. The only thing that has gone is the knowingness aspect has been withdrawn. That's all. It has become unmanifest because there is no objectivity to know. So he says, Swamiji says here, uh, when the knowingness aspect is withdrawn from functioning in the world, it does not mean that one has entered deep sleep. It only means that it is under one's absolute control and discrimination as to when and where it should operate and in what extent, and when to withdraw into an immunity zone. And don't we do this? If we are not interested in a particular party, we go away from there. If we are in the party and we cannot go away, we'll just go and stay outside on the balcony or go out in the garden. We withdraw because we are not interested in that conversation that is going on there. Nothing is resonating with us, only gossip going on. See? Same way, how do the Mahatmas function then? This is how they function. Because they have complete control over their this faculty of knowingness. When they want, they involve. When they want, they withdraw. And how do they do that? How does it happen? Intuitively. This abhyasa in developing this no entry zone and remaining in it for extended periods of time is the practice of nirvikalpa samadhi. Nirvikalpa samadhi is naturally our mind is going to from manifestation to any manifestation every day. Why every day? Every moment it is happening. Instead of going to sleep, we have to remain awake. Now practice that. Who can come and teach you that? Nobody can come and teach you that. You have to practice it. But be alert that you are absolutely awake. You are not gone to sleep when the mind is quiet. If you don't, if after meditation you don't know where you were, understand you went to sleep. This abhyasa in developing this no entry zone and remaining in it for extended periods of time is the practice of nirvikalpa samadhi and should be done all the 24 hours of the day. The triad of knower known knowledge will disappear, but the manifestation of life will continue to be. So last week, I think we did this verse last week, and basically that nirvikalpa samadhi is not only on the seat of meditation, it must turn into a sahaja samadhi, wherein in spite of the thoughts coming in the mind, we are in silence within ourselves. The true silence is the silence of the Dakshinamurti. The true silence is that of Ramana Maharishi, which is not disturbed by appearance of thoughts or disappearance of thoughts. In other words, which is not disturbed by appearance of world or disappearance of the world. That is the true silence. That is the true nirvikalpa samadhi. Then what is that samadhi which we access on the seat of meditation? Initial stages, it is only jada samadhi. Until unless it does not get converted into your natural state 24/7, 365 days a year, that should be our intention. That is how our disposition should be. And in this way, the triad of knower known knowledge. So how does a Mahatma go around in the world? He goes around like a mirror, reflecting everything, but owning nothing. For owning, how should I say, not even owning, there is just mere reflection is there. No thought is created, because for thought to be created, there has to be a trio. There should be knower, known, knowledge. But now knower has realized that he is the absolute one. So there is no knower. How can triad express? Then what is the mind then? In the world, how is the mind of the Mahatma functioning then? Just like a mirror. And whenever he chooses, he takes a position to interact and again withdraws. He chooses to think a thought or not to think a thought or remain in silence. See? And that choice to express the thought, it is not a choice of an individual, because there is no individual. This is where the confusion comes. Then who is making the choice? It's a choiceless choice. It happens. To some person he may talk, to some persons he may not talk. There's no rhyme or reason. It's all by the Lord's, the best way to put it is, it's the Lord's wish. We may say it is intuitive. So basically the totality, he is one with the entire, and that totality is now expressing through him, because the entire creation is the self alone for this person. So whom he will interact with, whom he will talk to, because everything is the self alone. And yet the drama goes on. Everything is water alone, yet the wave comes up without corrupting the water, without the ownership by the water saying that I have become less because wave has come up. No. Same way is this Mahatma, such a person. And therefore, one must, if we are practicing meditation and our mind is naturally becoming quiet by your japa, by your contemplation, whichever way, now make sure that you do not go to sleep. What are the signs of going to sleep? First one I already told you, if you remember. Not remembering where you were. That is the first sign. Second sign, your head will droop. Keep straight. All the arguments thus far are now tied up into the concluding thought in this last section. This is the last part of the Shabda Khandana. Taisa Atma Satchidanandu Apana Pa Apana Siddhu Ata Kaya De Shabdu Taya Chetaya. So beautiful. In the same way, the Satchidananda Atman is self-asserted and self-existing. How can the words give self-knowledge to self? How can the self have self-knowledge? How can the I come to know the I? How can the subject come to know the subject? Just as how can the physical eye see itself? It cannot see itself. How can the mind think about the mind? It cannot think. So therefore, this is a misnomer that the self can, so what are we doing? You and me in this satsang? We are pursuing self-knowledge. And who are we? Of the nature of self-knowledge. Then where is the truti? Where is the shortcoming? The shortcoming is in us thinking that we are an individual with this body, with this mind, ignorant about the self. then what has to be done? Everything that is becoming an obstacle between you and yourself, what is that? Thoughts. Reduce the number of thoughts. How do you do that? Contemplate, meditate, do japa. Some practice, initial stages, some practice is necessary. Suddenly it will not just because we wish, we don't want to have, we are not the body, we are not the mind, we are not the waker dreamer. It will not happen. We need to build up the momentum. We need to build up the force to eject the I, out of the whirlpool of the mind, body and intellect, or to eject the I from taking the position that I am the waker, dreamer and sleeper. It has to, for that some force is required. That force can be pranas, that force can be the japa, that force can be the power of concentration on Om. That force can be a continuous, undisturbed contemplation on who am I. But you have to build yourself. You have to build yourself. Slowly, slowly increase your stamina. Stamina doesn't happen just one moment to the other, but very rare people are there like that. To convert the Nirvikalpa Samadhi into Sahaja Nirvikalpa Samadhi 24/7, it's not going to happen. It may happen in one go, but otherwise till it doesn't happen, you keep that I must, even when I'm moving around in the world, I must not be disturbed by the world. For that, your attention should not be on the world. For that, your attention has to be on the self. So same way, the Satchidanand Atman, the self, our conscious self, it is self-asserted and self-existing. Apanaya apana siddhu. It is self-established. It is self-asserted. It is self-existing. Ata kaya de shabdu. Now, if it is self-assertive and if it is self-knowing and if it is self-existing, then what words can ever prove the Atma? Then what words do you require? You don't require any words. That's the Ata Kaya De Shabdu. There's no need of words. This entire chapter was to make us recognize that we are beyond the word. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. You are that in essence from where which the words cannot reveal. Mind cannot understand or comprehend. Why? You are self-existing in essentially. So there is no logic, there is no inference, there is no simile, there is no, nothing in this world which can reveal the self to you. Why? Self is self-knowing, self-existing. And that I am. So now, when we are alertly discriminating, then you find out, who am I? Again I ask the question, who am I? I just now said that self is self-existing and self-assertive, self-knowing. Then why am I asking who am I? Is the question, where's the question? In the mind. Can that question be answered? No. Why? I am already that. I cannot be known by the mind. Then why is mind asking the question? Out of habit. Second reason why our mind is asking the question, because it wants to be that infinite self. And as long as it asks the question, it can never be that. And if it doesn't ask the question, it is already that. Because the self and the mind both are of the nature of consciousness. Just as the wave and water, both are of the nature of water only. But if a wave is imagining, I have to know the water, I have to know the water, it's already that. So when will it, so what it has to stop thinking. See how wonderful. In the same way, as explained, Satchidananda Atma is self-asserted, self-existing, self-effulgent, self-determined. What can the word do? Will it, the word Satchidananda Atma, be able to describe the truth? No. All words Satchidanand, we saw all that. Is it before or before? After? We saw it before that the words Satchidananda are self-cancelling. They are only there for a purpose. And the purpose of the words attributed to the Atma as Satchitananda was to cancel the Asat, the Achit and the Dukkham. Correct? Remember that. What can the words do? Will the word Satchidananda Atma be able to describe the truth? So Jnaneshwar Maharaj has clearly established that the word can neither eliminate ignorance nor illumine the truth. अरे इतना पढ़ने के बाद, after so many chapters and so many words and pages, which are nothing but words, and we are coming to the conclusion what? That the word can neither eliminate ignorance. Why it cannot eliminate ignorance? Because the word is a product of ignorance. It's its grandchild. So how can the effect remove the cause? It is not possible. It's unheard of. Cause is the ignorance, effect is the word or the thought. How can it remove the cause? And nor illumine the truth. Why it cannot? Why the word cannot illumine the truth? Because word is changing, truth is unchanging. Word is finite, the truth is infinite. The word is impermanent, the truth is permanent. The word is dependent on alphabets. The truth is self-existing, independent, swatantra. It is not dependent on anything. And are we playing with our own mind by thinking like this? If that thought is coming to your mind, then we are not ready for this type of knowledge about the self coming to us. Then what is to be done? Do more purification, do japa. One day it will click. If it is clicking, but we are not established, continue to do japa or some sadhana of single pointed focus. Practice nirvikalpa samadhi again and again. But don't go to sleep. Nirvikalpa samadhi, take this thought and then go into, allow the samadhi to happen. And then find out why that samadhi is not present 24/7. Where am I going wrong in my approach? That after samadhi the world is still real. The reason Nirvikalpa Samadhi does not continue 24/7 is because we have accepted the validity of the world. We have accepted the validity of the waker. We have accepted the validity of the individual that I am. We have accepted the validity of the mind. That is why the Nirvikalpa Samadhi is not uh, uh, maintaining itself even after coming out of the seat of meditation. So somewhere in our approach we are going wrong. That's why the world is still present. Otherwise, once is enough. Yesterday we had a Ram Navami satsang there. Shabri, she's waiting for Ram. She's never seen Ram. She doesn't know where Ayodhya is. She doesn't know who Dasharath Maharaj is. All her teacher told was that Parabrahma Paramatma who has manifested on this earth as Shri Ram will himself come and grace you. And she has got no doubt in the words of her teacher, Matanga Muni. And every day she is waiting. She's keeping the fruits and the bear ready. She's sweeping the path as far as the eye can see. And when Ramchandraji comes, she doesn't say, I have done so much sadhana, I am in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, I don't have any thoughts, now please give me liberation. Nothing like that. She's just happy seeing that the Lord, that infinite reality as Ram, as that avatar Ram, has come in her home. She says, Ram has come to my house. But Ramchandraji says, I have come to Shabri's ashram. Look at it. She says, I am a adhamadham. I am the worse than the worst person. I am a woman, I am a bheel, I am a tribal, I am uneducated, I have got no samskaras. And when she is on this diatribe about herself, putting herself down in front of Sri Ram, Ram calls her Bhamini. He says, oh, beautiful one. In other words, he is calling each one of us, if we have a Shabri within us, if we are body identified, we are Shabri only. No, sorry. If we are without samskaras, then we are Shabri. And she felt that way. And Ramchandra says, no. And then he gives her the Navavidha Bhakti, 9 ways of devotion. And when he completes the 9 ways of devotion, that you must do satsang, that you must enjoy taking the name of the Lord, you must enjoy listening to the stories of the Lord, that you should have no kapat, no crookedness within you, and so on, it goes on. And he says, if one, Ramchandraji is telling Shabri, that if one of these qualities is there in any person, they will attain, I will come to them. He is not saying that they will come to me. He says, I will come to them. I will grace them. And oh Shabri, oh beautiful Shabri, you have got all the 9 qualities in you. He doesn't say that don't call yourself adhamadam, don't call yourself ignorant. No, this is, instead he brings out the best that he is seeing in her. And that old Shabri there and then does circumambulation of Sri Ram 3 times, falls at his feet, and leaves the body by invoking the Agni, and the body becomes ashes. And when she becomes ashes, so where has she gone? She has recognized that she is Parabrahma Paramatma. She doesn't merge into Ram as a person. She doesn't merge into Ram like Ravana merged into Ram, like we see in, tung 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 tung, one flame going and merging into Sri Ram. Not like that. She had Jivan Mukti. She didn't, if you talk in technical language, she did not merge into Hiranyagarbha. Then what happened? The vestibule, the vehicle turned into ashes. All the five elements went back to their total five elements, and the consciousness recognized that it was the infinite consciousness after the Navavidha Bhakti was told to her, which was already present. It just needed the spark. See, we come to the satsang, we are getting the spark in every satsang. But what is happening? Are we melting away? Are we turning? Is the world becoming ashes for us? Are the relations and possessions becoming ashes for us? Is our conviction turning into a direct experience that we are the infinite self? Or even in satsang, we remain objectively that I am the listener, I am the understander, I am the seeker. You can say that Ramchandraji, when he was giving Navavidha Bhakti, Shabri was the student, Shabri was the seeker, Shabri is the one who has been waiting. But how has that wait culminated? In Jivan Mukti. So our wait for Amrutanubhava, our wait for the satsangs on Kathopanishad or whichever, or our satsang with ourselves, when we sit by ourselves doing japa or meditation, is it culminating in destruction of ignorance? If it is not, then where is the truti? Where is the error? The error is holding on to the individuality, holding on to the identification that I am the body, that I am the seeker. And that then spills out that I am the father, I am the mother, I am the daughter, I am the this. It keeps going on then. But the root is here. Zara sochiye. Just sit coolly. एक बार क्लिक होना है deeply. Sant Jnaneshwar, so Jnaneshwar Maharaj has clearly established that the word can neither eliminate ignorance nor illumine the truth. No certificate of any authority is required to declare that I am. Sir, have I realized? Can you tell me? Do you go and ask someone, can you tell me if my tummy is full? Can you go and ask someone, can you tell me if I am dead or alive? Can you ask these stupid questions? Or have you ever asked these stupid questions? We don't need any proof of self-realization. We don't need any symptom of self-realization. If you're looking for symptoms, then still objectivity is there. World is still real for us. We don't need any confirmation of self-realization. We don't need any degrees in self-realization. I am 10% self-realized. Abhi baki hai. It may appear that way. In Yoga Vashishta it comes. Once you come to the Anahat Chakra, you know you are the conscious person, consciousness, other than the matter. Now what is happening after that? So there is no doubt about consciousness. Now how to remain established in consciousness is the journey from Anahat to Vishuddhi to Agya and to Sahasrara and beyond. Now, if you call that are you being established in the self, in the consciousness more and more as you are going to the higher chakras? In the relative parlance, yes, because now you are spending more time with yourself. How? By deleting what you are not. So here in Anahat, you are there and the body is there. You are clearly aware that I am not the body. When you come to Vishuddhi, the idea that I am not the body also goes away from your mind. There is no distraction, no disturbance of even that thought. Thereafter, from Vishuddhi onwards, Vishuddhi is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. From Nirvikalpa Samadhi onwards, how do I convert the Nirvikalpa Samadhi into Sahaja Samadhi is this journey further. That when my eyes are open, when my senses are open, I still am in Samadhi, undisturbed by the stimuli, unreactive to the stimuli, no ownership of the stimuli, no objectivity, no giving validity to the objectivity of the stimuli. Why? How? By completely being self-contemplating, being the self. How will you be the self in spite of everything? Eternal witness. That eternal witness is the eternal silence, who is undisturbed by what is coming and going. How long will this disturbance come and go and you will not be disturbed? As long as the momentum in the mind is still present. If you maintain yourself as the eternal witness, Sakshi, to that extent, the momentum in the mind will keep reducing. But you are not seeking that the mind must become quiet, nor you are seeking the disturbed because the mind has become active. Because the nature of the mind is manifestation and unmanifestation. So in meditation, here there is no disturbance. So you are in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Now there is disturbance from here to here. There is disturbance. How do we convert that into a non-disturbance? That is the art of Vedanta. And then what do you recognize in the Agya Chakra? That, hey, the potentiality that the mind and the consciousness that I am, both are coexisting. They are not different from each other. The nature of both is same. One cannot be without the other. This is the eternal phenomena that is going on. Then the question will come, who knows this? That this eternal phenomena of consciousness and Purusha Prakriti is going on. Who knows this? So am I the one who is in relation to Prakriti, or am I the one who knows that Purusha Prakriti relationship is going on. Which one am I? Am I the Purusha with reference to Prakriti, or am I the eternal Purusha who knows, who is the substratum of Purusha and Prakriti? Then the idea of Purusha Prakriti also will dissolve. See, our meditation should not be an inert meditation. It should not be just, oh, I'm going into meditation. Do what in meditation? Go to sleep? Escape from the world? No, remain contemplative. Take some deep thought. Something like this, or whatever appears at that time, take it to its natural conclusion, which is the self. Then and remain awake. That is important. Oh, wonderful. The word can neither eliminate ignorance nor illuminate the truth. No certificate of any authority is required to declare that I am. I am is self-existing. It doesn't require any recognition. It doesn't require any authentication. It doesn't require any certification. It doesn't require any validation. I cannot have the experience of my own absence. If in our mind the thought of absence is at times coming, now there is nothing in my mind. That means instead of remaining aware of the conscious self, we are still aware of Prakriti. If this thought is appearing that there is nothing in my mind now, there is only silence. If this thought is coming, we are still objectively oriented, and the object of orientation now is nothingness, inertness, emptiness, absence, and that will lead to again Jada Samadhi. It will not lead to Nirvikala. You will sleep. If our focus is on nothingness, we will go to sleep. But you only say, scripture, many places we have heard that you must keep looking at nothing, keep looking at blankness. Yes, look at blankness. But when your mind has, when all other thoughts have gone from your mind, instead of going to sleep, through that blankness or emptiness, you come to yourself. How? After a good sleep? No. The moment, so the moment the last thought concludes, come back to yourself. Be yourself. Be the self. After the last thought has gone, then you are creating new thoughts. That now there is no thought. But that now there is no thought is also a thought. Now there is void. Now there is void is also a thought. This should not happen. For that, alert training of your mind is required. Then hold on to the Om, hold on to the mantra, and let it take you to its natural conclusion with understanding. I cannot have the experience of my own absence. How can I be absent? The father can be absent out of me, the son can be absent at times, the brother can be absent, the body identification can be absent, like in sleep. But how can I be absent to myself? It is not possible. Nobody can say, I forgot myself. If you say, I forgot, it is always, you forgot something, some aspect of yourself. some memory of yourself which you had collected. But nobody says, I have forgotten me, I am absent. Nobody says that. मैं भूल गया. क्या भूल गया? When we say मैं भूल गया, I have forgotten, it doesn't mean that I have forgotten myself. My mind has forgotten. I have forgotten what I wanted to remember. So self is not a subject to remember, and self is not a subject to be forgotten, because it is always. देखो how therefore I cannot have the experience of my own absence. Therefore, if I cannot have experience of my own absence, then there is no word required. Then therefore no word is required, nor does it have the potential to declare my essential being. If I have never been absent, take this word, this sentence, I have never been absent. I can never be absent. Now find arguments, logic, contemplations to prove this statement, not to disprove, to prove this statement. Has there any time in my life from childhood till now come when I have been absent? Assess, contemplate, and as you keep sifting away all the data, that the childhood went, then the teenage went, then the youth went, then the middle age went, and the old age has come. So many years, now I'm 50 years old or 60 years old or 70 years old. So many years time has come and gone. Childhood body, teenage body, youthful body, middle age body has come and gone. Memories have come and gone. Convictions have come and gone. Concepts have come and gone. So many wakers, dreamers and sleepers have come and gone. But have I come and gone? And until unless we don't get fired about it, who is this me who has not come and gone? Arre yaar, I thought I was coming and going. I was living like that. But I have never come and gone. Yes, I know. Throughout my life, the waker, dreamer, sleepers have come and gone. Different bodies have come and gone. Different memories have come and gone. Yes, I cannot deny that I have never come and gone. Who is this who has not come and gone? A systematic approach is required towards to undo this, because it's still in the mind, but in a refined mind. In a purified mind, what we are saying just now will click. First is click, then is direct experience, then is abidance, continuous abidance, third stage. So who is this me? For that, now, every Sunday to Sunday, if we come to this thought, it is okay. It's better than nothing. But if you are fired with this question, with this contemplation that, yeah man, there is no data to prove that I have come and gone. There is no data to prove that I have been absent. Right now, this understanding, this conviction is taking place from an outsource. That outsource is me, the speaker. This must happen within you by yourself. When your mind gets fired up by itself, no discussion, no arguments, no studying of scriptures. You have studied enough. You have to just allow yourself to be hooked by yourself. That is called witnessing. And in that witnessing, everything will start undoing itself. How the pure self does not require any authority to establish or deny its existence is explained further, echoing the thought from the Keno Upanishad. कोणाही प्रमाणाचे निहाते वस्तू घे नाने घे आपण याते जे स्वये असे आयिते घेणे नान घेणे. The pure self, being self-asserted and self-existent, does not depend on any proof of authority or word for its existence or non-existence. Oh, but the scriptures are there, the Upanishads are there, these words of great masters are there like Amrutanubhava. Are they not the proof that self exists? No. Whether this book is there or not, whether these words are there or not, you as the self are self-existing. You don't need this proof. Then why are we reading this book? Why are we reading this great Mahatma's words of realization? Because you are not ready to be yourself. Nothing wrong to listen. These words have come out of Jnaneshwar Maharaj only when his teacher asked him, write down your experience of realization. He had never thought, he had never expected that he would be writing this. But now Guru Maharaj has said, so it will happen. It came out. That young 12-year-old Jnaneshwar Maharaj, when his Guru Maharaj, his elder brother said, Jnana, now you talk on Bhagavad Gita. And when we are going through Bhagavad Gita, Jnaneshwari, we saw every chapter is beginning with prostrations to his teacher and the people, and that 12-year-old boy who has never studied scriptures, little bit what his father had taught, that's all. Little bit yoga that the elder brother has taught and initiated into him into it, that he sits there and it starts pouring out. Why? No doubt. No doubt. We have doubt. Therefore, we want knowledge objectively. We want to understand objectively. We want someone to inspire us because we are not self-inspired to be the self. So we want to go to pilgrimage, maybe it will happen there. We want to go and have darshan of great Mahatmas, maybe someone's, by being in the presence of this Mahatma, self-realization may happen. नहीं इधर नहीं हुआ यार, I wasted my trip all the way to India. Okay, let's go to next one. You may not say these words loudly, but something like this is going on in the back, in your subconscious. A non-acceptance that I am all that there is, in essence. Non-acceptance of that makes us go outwards and search that I am the infinite one. We want to search that happiness. We want to search that continuity. We want to serve. We want someone to tell us and make us experience. But you are your own experience. Isn't it your direct experience at this moment? You don't need anything else to experience yourself. You don't need the body. You don't need the breath. You don't need the mind. See, get out of this entanglement of thoughts. For that, you have to work towards it. Where are we? The pure self does not require any pramana or authority to prove its existence or non-existence. In Kenopanishad it is said, I do not think that I know it well, but not that I do not know, I know too. He who among us knows it as the known as well as the not known, he alone knows it. This is, remember, if you remember Kenopanishad, when the teacher tells him it is the eye of the eye, the mind of the mind, the prana of the pranas, and the teacher, student asks, why you are telling me like this? Why can't you give me a straight answer? The teacher said, this is how I was taught. Truth cannot be communicated. Truth has to be directly experienced. And then the student goes and meditates and he says, yeah, I know it. He says, if you know it, you have not known it. Again the teacher, and he gives him a bit of instruction, and the student goes away and sits in one corner and meditates and eventually comes out and says these words. What does he say? I do not think that, I do not think about the self. I know it well. How do I know it well? Directly. But not that I do not know. I do not think that I know it well, but not that I do not know, I know too. That my mind is thinking about the self, but it can never know. That also is known by me, the eternal witness. Because all dialogue is taking place in the mind. So these sentences are all self-cancelling. Just like Sat was cancelling Asat, Chit was cancelling Achit. This particular verse, if you go into Kenopanishad, every line is cancelling the next line. I know and I don't know, and I know both. I know that I don't know, and I also know that I know. What is this language here? He who, and then that student says, because the teacher is sitting there and other students are sitting there, he says, he among us who knows it as the known as well as the not known. How do you know it? Atmatvena. How do you not know it? Knowing fully well that the phenomena called the mind can never come to know it. Because phenomena is going on, even right now. If we are dependent on the phenomena to know the self at this moment while this speaking and hearing is going on, it will never happen. But while listening, if we take the position of the witness, of being the consciousness, in spite of the mind, in spite of the mind, then you know. But how do you know? Just you don't, there is no intermediary of mind or thoughts. And therefore this language. He who among us knows it as the known as well as the not known, he alone knows it. See? Another way to put it is, at known and not known are at the phenomenal level, because both are opposite to each other, isn't it? What is not known? Absence. What is known? Presence. Presence meaning presence of the manifestation of the mind is known, and unmanifestation of the mind is not known. He who knows the known and the not known, he alone knows it. And how does he know the both manifestation, absence of manifestation and presence of manifestation. Atmatvena, because he has gone beyond it. He alone knows it. We are only in the known, meaning we are only in the manifested mind. We haven't practiced knowing the unmanifest mind. Daily practice is required for that. Daily practice is required for that. Living an option-free life. When we live an option-free life, then we'll not entertain options also at our mind level. Then we'll realize that, the option of the waking dream and deep sleep is also an option only. I choose not to be it. That is also an option only. Somehow I get caught up into the gravity of the waking and consider myself a waker. Then I get caught up in the gravity of the dream and I become identified with the dream world as the dreamer. See? This gravitational pull has to be neutralized. For that, merely listening, merely reading, puja, archa, all that is okay, but it is not going to deliver you anything. No amount of mantra is going to deliver you anything. But does that mean that we don't chant mantra? No, chant. But make sure, Vaikari Madhyama Pashyanti Para, you go to its source. If you are not going to the source, you are caught up like it's going on mechanically. And that mechanical way of life, that mechanical way of approach, it starts expressing in satsang also. Then satsang becomes mechanical. Then speaking becomes mechanical. Then listening becomes mechanical. Oh, that was wonderful satsang. Who experienced that wonderfulness? Mind. Again, we are caught up in the mind. So we are still after an experience. If that type of wonderfulness, that divine silence as a result of listening does not take place, then satsang was okay today, I think Swamiji was not with it. Some days, Swamiji, you are just with it. Where is your attention? On Swamiji? On the words? On the experience of your mind? Or on being the witness of the phenomena that is taking place? Who are we? What is our identity? True identity. The word does not have any authority in defining it. Therefore, the teacher in Kenopanishad expresses his helplessness in teaching about Atma Tattva. The self, which is all that there is, cannot be taught. Then, sir, what are you doing? Confusing you people. Because through confusion, answer is there. What confusion? See, what is the process of Vedanta? All concepts, all ideas, which is our scriptures, is all confusion only, if you take it in that sense. But what is this type of confusion? Vedanta is a process, and this is Vedanta. It is a process where old notions about your experience are replaced without creating a new notion. So you are told you are an individual. Ah, yes, I am an individual, but actually you are the self and you cannot come to know the self objectively. Story over. Oh, so knowing that you are the absolute self, is it a concept? No, it is your natural state. Oh, you are a waker, you are a dreamer, you are a, yeah, I know that I am a, but the one who knows, he is beyond the waker, dreamer, and sleeper. Now you go and look. Oh, I am the one who's beyond the waker, dreamer, and sleeper. I am the one who's beyond. You cannot create a concept of it, because the one who is beyond the waker, dreamer, and sleeper is not a concept. It is not an idea. It is not a thought. It is not an object of experience. It is you, and you. It is always. So what was the previous notion? I am a waker, I am a dreamer, I am a sleeper. What is the new idea that is presented? The one who knows is the real one. Now, is the one who knows that does that become a concept? Yes, it will remain a concept if you are objectively thinking, yeah, this is 1, 2, 3, waker, dreamer, sleeper, and I am this is the waker, dreamer, sleeper, and I am this one. And now I have to merge into, ये सब examples है. But if you look at it subjectively, it is not a concept. You are not a concept. You as consciousness is not a concept. Because for concept, objectivity is required. You are not objective. You are the subject itself. You can never come to know yourself objectively. So you can't be a concept. देखो again, every word triggers a new contemplation. Therefore, the teacher in Kenopanishad expresses his helplessness in teaching about Atma Tattva. So, how can you teach that which is always? How can it teach that? Neither the eye, the jnanendriyas, nor the speech, the karmendriyas, nor the mind and the buddhi can reach and operate in the field of the self. I do not know how to teach you, my dear student. I do not know how to teach you. But I'll tell you what my guru told me. It is distinct from the known and beyond the unknown. What is known? The manifest mind. What is unknown? The unmanifest mind. And what did my teacher tell me? The teacher here says that it is beyond the known and the unknown. Now take this one line and you sit with it. That's what Nisargadatta Maharaj did. 2 years. That's what Ramana Maharshi did. Ganpati Muni says 18 years. There was no need for him to come out into the world. Did he come to be after 1 year going into to Arunachala, or 2 years or 3 years? No, who is there to say? But he was discovered after 18 years. Nisargadatta Maharaj only 2 years. We are still searching for the cave. You're still searching for Arunachala. Don't search. Outside your room, put Arunachala cave, Virupaksha cave, and sit in your room. But I will tell you, I cannot teach you, but I'll tell you what my Guru Maharaj told me. What is that? It is distinct from the known and the unknown and beyond the unknown. These are not mere words. That the reality is beyond the known and beyond the unknown. Make it into your direct experience. The known and unknown are just two thoughts in your mind. They are concepts. Known is all manifestation, unknown is all unmanifestation. These are two concepts of your mind in which your mind keeps shunting. Waking and dream is known, deep sleep is unknown. And what is reality? Beyond both. Be that. Be that. The known and the unknown include everything. The known includes the wake. See, here is same. Automatically the thoughts go in that direction. The known and unknown include everything. What is everything? Everything in this universe that you know objectively. Where do you know objectively? What is your objective experience? Waking, dream, and deep sleep is your total experience. Outside these three, there is no objective experience possible. What about those other lokas? They also come in the waking or the dream. Everything that can be. So all that you know or don't know comes within the purview of the known and the unknown. They include everything, and the known includes the waking and the dream states, and the unknown includes the deep sleep state. That which is other than the known and the unknown, but which is the substratum of all the three planes of consciousness, is the I. So when you say, yesterday you had waking, dream, deep sleep experience, yes. This morning did you get up from the sleep? Yes. Who is saying it? Can't be the waker. But we don't know how to separate the waker from the witness. Can you separate the waker from the witness? Can you separate the husband from the man? Can you separate? The man itself is the substratum of the husband. The material that the man is alone has gone into making the husband. So can you remove the husband? Then what has to be done? So let's take, when we are saying that the waker, what is that? Waker and the reality. Reality is the man, waker is equal to husband. So what has the husband to do? He has to accept that he is the man. The moment he thinks and accept, he doesn't even have to think. He has to just be the man. The moment he is the man, the husband vanishes, the father vanishes. So what has the waker to do? The waker has to discover, has to just be the eternal witness, has to be the pure consciousness. And in that process, because this exercise can happen only in the waking, it cannot happen in the dream or in the sleep. It can happen only in the waking. So the waker discovers himself to be the witnessing consciousness. See? Then in waking, when you discover that, then you are in samadhi. But what about dream and deep sleep? Now the next question comes, that what he's saying here, that the self is beyond the known and the unknown. So rather than saying, I am not the waker, I am the reality, and being the reality, recognize, I am not the waker, I am not the dreamer, I am not the sleeper. Both fall into the category of known and unknown, and I am beyond both. Or I am beyond the three, waking, dream and deep sleep. That is my true identity. And be that. Don't keep repeating, that is my true identity, that is my true identity, that is my true identity. Don't keep repeating, I am that, I am that, I am that. By repetition, nothing is going to happen if it doesn't click. Mere chanting of Aham Brahmasmi is not going to bring about anything. Maximum Jada Samadhi, that's all. Any japa that you do, even chanting of Om, if it is done without understanding, without subjective approach, understanding means subjective approach, it will lead to Jada Samadhi. Jada Samadhi is on the seat of meditation you are in bliss, outside the seat of meditation you are in blisters. Why? The world is still present. That which is other than the known and the unknown, but which is the substratum of all the three planes of consciousness, is I. So how can the speech of the waking state called Vaikhari, or that of the dream state called Madhyama, or of the deep sleep state called Pashyanti, or even the source of all the three called the Para, operate in this substratum? We have told you before, Para is equal to Nirvikalpa. That also has to be given up in the end. Para is the witness. Witness is always, the witnessing consciousness is coexisting with the witnessed. All that is happening is the witness is not influenced by what it is witnessing. The observer is not influenced by what it is observing. That is called the witnessing consciousness. In other words, you are at this point, anahat. The consciousness and matter are separated, and the consciousness is undisturbed by the matter. Matter, waking, dream, deep sleep, known and unknown phenomena, is undisturbed. But still there is two. And as long as there is two, the subject and object, you have to go beyond that. And that's what is being told here.